Let's be real for a second. We all love the players, the dunks, the clutch shots, the last-second buzzer beaters, but have you ever stopped to think about the person who's right there, making the tough calls, under a mountain of pressure and getting zero glory for it? No, I'm not talking about the coach, I'm talking about the referee. The life of a basketball referee isn't all whistles and handshakes. In fact, it's mostly constant scrutiny, relentless expectations, and a whole lot of stress. Whether you're calling a foul or deciding on a game-changing out-of-bounds play, every decision you make is dissected by millions of fans, analysts, and players. And yet, the moment you get it wrong, suddenly you're the villain, not the hero. It's a job that's rarely appreciated, but without referees, there's no game. But here's the question. Do you think we give enough credit to the refs for the insane pressure they're under? Or do we just expect them to get everything right without ever acknowledging how tough their job really is? Let me know what you think in the comments. Being a basketball referee isn't as glamorous as it might seem. The moment you step onto the court, you're the target of everyone's frustrations. Players, coaches, and even the crowd expect you to be perfect, to make every call right every time. And yet, you're the one everyone loves to blame when things go wrong. It starts in the lower levels of the game, where players are just beginning to find their rhythm. As a referee, you try to stay objective, but the pressure is already there. Coaches yell from the sidelines, players complain after every call, and the fans scream, often questioning every decision you make. But it's when you move up to higher levels, like college or even the NBA, that the weight truly hits you. At the professional level, there's no room for error. Every call you make is scrutinized not just by the people in the stands, but by millions of fans watching at home. With replay systems and cameras zooming in on every movement, there's no escaping the constant oversight. Miss one call, and it could be the difference between a win and a loss for a team. Fans won't hesitate to take to social media to call you out. Analysts will dissect every move, pointing out your mistakes like they're the ones who should have been on the court in the first place. And it doesn't stop there. As a referee, you're expected to have perfect endurance. You're on your feet for the entire game, running up and down the court, constantly moving in and out of positions to make sure you're in the right spot for every play. It's a physically demanding job that doesn't get the credit it deserves. After the game, you don't get a pat on the back for doing your job right. No highlight reel, no interviews, no cheers. You're just there to make sure the game goes smoothly, and that's it. On top of that, the mental toll is immense. You have to keep track of every rule, every player, and every possible scenario. You're constantly making split-second decisions that could shape the outcome of a game. And when you make a mistake, the consequences are immediate. One bad call, and you'll hear about it for days. Whether it's the coach throwing a tantrum, the players giving you dirty looks, or the fans booing you out of the arena, it's all on you. And despite all of this, referees are expected to maintain composure and not let the pressure get to them. What's worse is that there's always a younger, faster, and arguably better referee coming up behind you. New talents, more experienced officials, and a constant push for improvement make this job incredibly stressful. Even if you've been doing it for years, you know that one bad season could put your career in jeopardy. You're not allowed to slip. The moment you start making mistakes, you're forgotten. No matter how hard you try, no one ever remembers the good calls, but they sure as hell remember the bad ones. It's a job that requires precision, patience, and mental toughness, but it's a thankless role. As a basketball referee, you're not in the spotlight, but without you, the game wouldn't exist. You're the unsung protector of fairness, trying to keep the chaos from swallowing the sport you love. But when the game's over, it's not your name in the papers, it's the players, the coaches, and the highlights. Because in the end, being a referee in basketball doesn't come with glory. It comes with pressure, criticism, and an overwhelming sense of being invisible, no matter how hard you try to make things right. And then there's the toll it takes on your personal life. Refereeing is a thankless job, and the late nights, the weekends spent in gyms under fluorescent lights, and the constant travel all begin to wear you down. You miss out on family events, time with friends, and the chance to just relax. Your calendar is packed with games, meetings, and endless film review sessions, all in preparation for the next match where you'll be judged by your every move. And if you make a mistake, you won't just be scrutinized by the people in the stands, it's the entire world, with social media turning even the smallest misstep into a viral moment. In the off-season, while the players get to unwind and recharge, you're still mentally locked in, constantly thinking about how to improve. There's no real break from the pressure, no off-season for a referee. You train your mind, your eyes, and your body to stay sharp, always prepared for the next game. But the problem is, no one cares about your growth. The fans aren't asking how you're improving, and the players aren't going to cheer when you get a call right. The only time you hear something is when you get it wrong, and that echo sticks with you long after the game is over. And then there's the physical toll that no one talks about. The constant running, the sprinting back and forth trying to stay in position. It's a job that doesn't stop, even when your body is screaming at you to take a rest. Your knees start to ache, your back tightens, your joints snap and crack in ways they didn't used to. It's a career that wears you down over time, not just mentally but physically as well. No one tells you how hard it is to keep up with the speed of the game, how tiring it is to stay sharp for 48 minutes when the players are jumping, sprinting, and colliding all around you. But if you show signs of fatigue, if you make a wrong call because you're not quick enough, the world will notice, and they'll let you know. The mental exhaustion is another beast entirely. You have to remember every rule, every scenario, and every player's tendencies. A single lapse in concentration, and the game changes. You're not just refereeing basketball, you're mentally controlling the flow of the game. It's a pressure like no other. And when you get home after the game, you don't get to just turn it off. You rehash the calls in your head, wondering if you made the right decisions, replaying the moments that went wrong, and worrying about how those missteps will be perceived. But the worst part? The isolation. Referees are on the court alone. You're the one who has to make the call, whether it's popular or not. You don't get the same camaraderie the players do. When the game ends, you pack up your gear and leave the arena while the players celebrate or sulk together. You never get the chance to bond with your team. You never get the recognition you deserve, and you rarely get the credit for the things that go right. You're just the person standing in the background, invisible, until someone needs to point the finger. At the end of the day, you're part of the game, but not really in the way the players are. You'll never get the MVP trophy. You'll never get your name on the back of a jersey or in the highlight reel. But when you're doing your job well, when the game flows without any major disruptions, when everything is running smoothly, you'll know it's because you did your job right, even if no one else noticed. And sometimes, that's all that keeps you going. The hardest part of being a basketball referee is that no matter how many games you officiate, there's always the looming fear of being replaced. In a league with constant turnover, newer, younger referees are always coming up, eager to take your spot. They bring fresh energy, faster reactions, and often a stronger rapport with the players. As the years go by, you start to feel the pressure of staying relevant in a job where being overlooked is part of the territory. It's not just about calling fouls anymore. It's about proving you can keep up with the evolving pace of the game. You see the trends change, the game getting faster, more athletic, and more dynamic. The players are bigger, stronger, quicker, and so are the calls. You find yourself having to adjust every single game to stay ahead of the speed of the action. You're expected to anticipate plays before they even develop, and sometimes, even after years of experience, you still miss a call. A player dives for a loose ball, you make the judgment, and then you hear the crowd's roar of disapproval. It stings, especially when you know that if you were on the other side of the whistle, you'd be just as upset. And the truth is, refereeing doesn't get easier with time. The longer you do it, the harder it becomes to maintain the same level of sharpness. As your body ages, the physical toll starts to catch up with you. The long hours on your feet, the constant sprinting up and down the court, the grueling back and forth calls, they wear you down. Your knees ache, your back tightens, your joints crack after every game. There's no off-season to recover. You're always in the middle of it, always preparing for the next challenge, always wondering if this is the game where your body finally gives out. The real kicker is that no matter how much you sacrifice, no one really sees it. Coaches yell at you, players curse you, and the fans make sure you know when you get it wrong. Your mistakes are amplified while your correct calls go unnoticed. It can be demoralizing to know that you could call 100 fouls perfectly, but one missed call could lead to your name trending on social media for all the wrong reasons. And despite all of this, you still have to keep your composure. You can't let the noise affect you, you can't afford to show any sign of weakness, even though inside, the pressure is crushing. But somehow, through all the criticism, the exhaustion, and the frustration, you keep coming back. Why? Because you care. It's not just about the paycheck or the status, it's about your role in keeping the game fair. It's about preserving the integrity of the sport, even when no one else seems to appreciate it. You've dedicated your life to this job, and no matter how many times you're overlooked or dismissed, you can't walk away. You know the game needs you, even if the crowd doesn't always agree. So, you show up again. You lace up your shoes, you step onto the court, knowing that for the next few hours, it's all on you. No one will cheer you on, but if you make the right call, the game will flow seamlessly, and the players will keep playing. It's the hardest job no one wants to acknowledge, but it's the one that keeps the game running. You may never get a thank you, but you'll always know the game couldn't be the same without you. And that, in its own way, is enough to keep going. So next time you watch a game, take a second to appreciate the referee standing on that court, making split-second decisions that could affect the entire game.
Sure, they make mistakes, but they're human, just like the players. They're out there doing a job that requires focus, endurance, and resilience, and they do it with little to no recognition. It's easy to criticize from the sidelines, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're the one holding the whistle. Referees keep the game flowing, keep it fair, and take the hits, both literal and metaphorical, without ever asking for a pat on the back. What do you think? Do you think referees deserve more credit, or is it all just part of the job? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And next time you're at a game, remember, it's not as easy as it looks.